Happy Saturday, foodie friends and grain-free VIPs, and welcome to today's Slice of the Grain-Free Lifestyle episode, where our topic is let's make something grain-free, allergy-friendly, lectin-free, and delicious for the holidays. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get cooking with you. It's been forever. As you are coming on and being notified that I'm live, could you please say hello in the comments, and that way I can make sure to reach out and say thank you. It means so much that you are taking a part of your Saturday to be with me here on this, and so we can do a little baking. Now, if you see the replay, please use hashtag replay because I appreciate it. And just waiting for a sound check. All right, Arlene says we're good to go. Thank you so much, Arlene. Okay, what are we making? What do you think we're making? Maybe we're making some apps. Maybe we're making a dip. No. We are making brownies. Grain-free, allergy-friendly, lectin-free, no top allergens, and they're gonna be delicious. Okay. How are we doing this? Well, this morning I measured out my ingredients. Why? Because I'm live with you and I want to make sure it goes as quickly as possible. Now, let's see here. I want to show you what I've done so far. I have creamed egg replacer, butter replacer, and some organic coconut sugar. And it looks like creamed sugar, butter, and creamed brown sugar, butter, and eggs, right? Because that's what it's supposed to look like. That's what a brownie recipe starts off with. And if you're like, Nina, don't you usually use oil? Using a butter replacer or butter, if it's safe for you, will give you a much fluffier, more delicious brownie. Okay, so it's creamed, now what? Well, we gotta add the dry ingredients. Now, unlike a traditional recipe, we're not gonna add the dry ingredients all at once. This is my lectin-free flour blend. I use it in all my lectin-free baking. It's grain-free, it has no top allergens, and we are just going to incorporate this. And if you are a grain-free VIP, you've got this recipe already. If you are not a VIP, drop the recipe below so I can reach out to you and get you that recipe, okay? You will need a VIP login to set it up, and that's just a quick thing we do. All right, so we got our lectin-free flour. Now we need to incorporate that. Okay. So, what are your favorite grain-free, allergy-friendly desserts? Go ahead and tell me in the comments. Is it chocolate chip cookies? Maybe you like a good dessert pizza? Maybe you're going, well, the only dessert that I have that's grain-free and allergy-friendly is fruit. Okay, we can go from there. Right? We can get you eating like normal, and that's what I do. That's why you're here, because you want to eat like normal. My name is Nina Blake. I have been grain-free since 2012. I've been avoiding grains and most top allergens, and then last Christmas at this time, we got a little Christmas chaos where my husband developed lectin intolerance. So let me give you the whole list of allergens that we avoid in my house. It is apples, almonds, bananas, beef, blueberries, cassava, corn, dairy, eggs, all grains, peas, pork, potatoes, soy, pineapple, oranges, sunflower, sweet potatoes, benzoic acid, active yeast. My husband is lectin and legume free. And if you're like, okay, so we're making water soup? No, we don't have water soup. We eat like normal. Cheeseburger casserole. I made us lamb chops for Thanksgiving. I made him fried chicken for Thanksgiving. And again, no grains, no top allergens, no lectins, no legumes. And I'm so excited to teach you how to do that. So far, see, this isn't incorporated yet. I was talking too much and not paying attention. This is why I measure ahead of time. Because when I start talking, lose my focus. Does that ever happen to you? Let me grab my scraper and let me get the ingredients out of the whip. And if you haven't met her yet, this is Candy. Candy is my my artisan mini mixer. She's a good and faithful friend. She's what I use when a recipe calls for a hand mixer, because I kill hand mixers. I've killed 3 of them, and when the last one started smoking, it was decided that I was not allowed to use a hand mixer anymore unless I was making a batter. No more doughs with hand mixers because I burn them. So, all right, so we're making brownies here. We've got our egg replacer, flour replacer, butter replacer, and it's all going together. Okay, now we're incorporating the flour. And thank you so much for those of you who are live with me. please say hello, please drop an emoji, and if you're catching this on replay, please use hashtag replay. And if you'd like the recipe, please drop recipe below. Okay. So we've got the flour incorporated now. Oh, I thought we did. Baking is not quick, but it's so delicious. Now I use organic ingredients when I can. Oh, and there's a little organic vanilla flavoring in here. And if you're going, you know, why vanilla flavoring? Well, because vanilla extract. Extract means alcohol. Yeah, hidden grains. And if you're like, hidden grains, what are those? Please reach out to me so that I can teach you about hidden grains, because there are more than 150 of them hiding right under our noses, and they can give us the same nasty consequences as grains do. We don't want that. Okay. There we go. Like, my doctor way back when actually recommended a supplement to me, and he told me that I should take this supplement because it would help me with my inflammation. Well, it had hidden grains in it and actually increased my inflammation. I got on a supplement, same supplement, different ingredients, and it did decrease my inflammation. It was wonderful. I still take it, but you have to make sure that your supplements, your pantry items, your shelf-stable foods, they don't contain hidden grains. Okay, so the flour is definitely incorporated. Now what? Hello, we need cocoa powder. I am using organic cocoa powder. Okay. The one thing that I do like better about a hand mixer is it's easier to get the ingredients in the mixing bowl. But my arm doesn't go numb when I do that. Okay, so now we're gonna incorporate the organic cocoa powder. And if you're like, Nina, how did you learn to do this? Okay, 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with a grain allergy at an infertility appointment, and it felt like the floor just disappeared from under my feet because my doctor said two things. One, you can't have grains, you can't have dairy, and by the way, you have endometriosis and you need surgery. And I swear 6 months later, after I had the surgery, the endometriosis was in the past and the grain allergy was still there. I'm telling you, the grain allergy was more of a huge challenge for me, because I had to learn how to live all over again. It felt like no food was safe. And 10 years after being grain-free, I was still looking for recipes. I had developed my own recipes, and I went online. I said, I wonder who is doing this. And I found out that nobody was. And it made me insane that there was nobody to help me in 2012. And there still wasn't anybody sharing grain-free, allergy-friendly recipes in 2022. So I said if there were people who wanted my help, I would help them. And I'm so glad that you're here today so that I can help you craft the grain-free, allergy-friendly lifestyle that you are dreaming of. You can see how my batter has changed. I know it's kind of more of a dough, but you can see how it's changed, and it's going to change some more. Just got to poke this out, because we are going to get brownies out of this. And if you're my VIPs and you have made these, I would love to hear how yours came out. Remember, if you want the recipe, put recipe below, and I will reach out and get it for you. All right. I actually went 5 years without brownies. And you're like, what? I know, I didn't know how to make them. I had to learn to do everything from scratch because grains, dairy, eggs, soy, corn, almonds, cashews, peanuts, sesame, nightshade, like I can't have most of those. And so I just didn't know what to do. So I had to, make my own egg replacer and come up with a flour blend. But guess what, folks? It's possible. And I've saved you the time. You don't have to do what I did. You don't have to spend a decade figuring it out, right? You can have these recipes in time for the holiday. And I hope that you get them, because Santa's not going to leave us a grain-free, allergy-friendly lifestyle in our stocking. I wish he would. Goodness knows I asked him, but he never left it. All right, Santa's not going to leave us that grain-free, allergy-friendly lifestyle. It is on us to create that. And I know many of you are parents and grandparents who have children in your lives who need to eat safely without those foods. And that's why you're here. That's why you're watching. And I'm so glad that I can help you do that, because I've got to tell you, my VIPs, their kids are eating like normal again. It takes a few little tweaks, but it's possible. And I hope you believe it's possible, because the possibilities are endless when you break a recipe. We'll talk more about that later. Okay. Now, we have a tasty batter. Now, it's not ready yet. Hold on. That's so good. It's so fabulous. I'm forgetting a step. Now we have to add the xanthan gum. And if you're like, Nina, you're using xanthan gum. That's not grain-free. Hold up. I'm gonna tell you more about that. Okay. I agree with you. Most xanthan gum is not grain-free. And I know because my body reacts to it. Yeah. But the xanthan gum that I use is a brand called Authentic Foods. And it is grain-free. It is corn-free. It is soy-free. It is dairy-free. And so if you would like to link the link to that, just put xanthan gum below so I can reach out to you and I will get that for you. Okay. So in here, I have a little xanthan gum and I have a little salt. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to incorporate the ingredients and then we're going to develop the xanthan gum. And that is one of the techniques that makes the biggest difference. When you develop the xanthan gum, you change the texture of a baked good. If you've ever had a baked good that tasted perfect and it was all fish, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You want a nice, fluffy, tall baked good. And that's what these brownies are going to be. They're going to be so good. Okay. So my xanthan gum is almost incorporated. Just going to take it. And I'm going to get the batter right out of the whip. If you're like, Nina, why don't you use the paddle? I don't like the paddle. I find that the paddle does not develop xanthan gum. I tried to develop xanthan gum with the paddle once. Took me more than 30 minutes. Still didn't do it. Not cool. So I use the whip. And every once in a while, I just clean the whip and keep on baking. Okay. So our xanthan gum is incorporated. I'm gonna put the lock on. I'm gonna set it to mix. Gotta set a timer. It's gonna take us 6 minutes to develop the xanthan gum here. Okay, and oh my gosh, I didn't even wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We had a very quiet one at my house. It was us, it was the dogs. We had pizza bites, which I scorched on the grill. Thank you, November Gusts of Wind. Then we had lamb chops. We had chicken, fried chicken in the air fryer, nice crispy golden chicken cutlets. My husband made us cheesy cauliflower rice. I made maple ginger honey nut squash, and then we had pies. Oh, we had pecan pie. Yes, pecans are top allergens, but everything else was grain-free, top allergen-free, lectin-free. And then we had pumpkin ginger pie. So good to eat like normal. It's phenomenal what we can do when we avoid grains and allergens. Now, whether you're just starting out with your grain-free lifestyle or if you just need a quick tune-up, I'm going to invite you to use my calendar link that my awesome DA Arlene has put below and meet with me one-on-one for a no-pressure consult. In that call, we look at your goals and we see if I can support you. If I can support you, then we get working. Maybe we get you enrolled in Fast Track or just recipes. And if it's not, then you walk away with some tips and you're like, oh, I learned a few things. So use my link, get your name on my calendar because it is filling up. I just have a few spots available before the new year. And I want to get you eating like normal so that you can start breaking your family recipes in time for the holidays. And if you're like, Nina, what does that mean, break a recipe? Okay, that's what I do. I take a recipe, like I've done with my family's traditions, my family's Christmas Eve recipes, or the cookies, or these brownies, right? We take it, we break it apart, we take out the allergens that are giving you trouble. I told you my list: apples, almonds, bananas, beef, blueberries, cassava, corn, dairy, eggs, all grains, peas, pork, potatoes, soy, pineapple, oranges, sweet potato, sunflower, active yeast, benzoic acid, lectins, legumes are what we avoid in my house, right? Break it apart, and maybe you have different allergies. I actually have a couple of VIPs who are now avoiding coconut, and so we're using other substitutions so that they can eat safely. That's what it means to break a recipe, because there are no recipes that are perfect, but when we break the recipe, we can take out what's bothering you and add the ingredients back so that you can eat safely while enjoying your family traditions. And I can't wait to use that link, and that way we can meet up and get you eating some some delicious foods without grains, without top allergens, in time for the holidays. Okay, I do have a little bit of day off energy. Can you tell? Yeah, I know. Life's tough. We got 3 more minutes. So what did we do? Before you came on, I measured my ingredients. So important. Great technique that I recommend. Measure your ingredients before you start cooking. When I'm recipe testing, I gotta do it. So measure your ingredients. I creamed my butter replacer, my egg replacer, and then I added a little bit of organic vanilla flavoring, added in my organic coconut sugar, okay? Once you came on with me, we started really getting real, adding the lectin-free flour blend, no grains, dairy, anything like that, right? Then we added the organic cocoa powder, we added the xanthan gum and the salt, and now we are developing that xanthan gum. And one of my favorite things to show you is once the xanthan gum is developed, you are not going to believe how the batter changes. It changes so it's not even going to look like what it looked like when we first started, okay? 2 reasons. 1, there is heat happening, right? The motion, it will melt the butter replacer a little bit, but it's also developing the xanthan gum. They're like, what does that mean? Okay, in a traditional baked good, you have the magical ingredient, gluten. And what's the only thing that we can replace gluten with? Unicorn farts! No, we're using xanthan gum. Xanthan gum builds the structure, okay? Structure, that little network of air pockets in a baked good. That's called crumb, okay? And xanthan gum gives us crumb in a grain-free recipe. So it builds those air pockets, it builds the structure, and suddenly the baked good feels right in your mouth. It feels fluffy. And if you're going, well, how do I do that? I want you to use my link so we can meet for home and I can teach you, because this is what I teach in my cooking classes, in my VIP lounge meetup, and in my coaching sessions. So use my link and we'll meet. Now we're developing the xanthan gum. We got to be careful. Excuse me. As you know, in any baked good, there's a contained set of ingredients to use. Traditional baked goods usually use flour, butter, sugar, eggs, right? And we use those replacers here. But isn't it amazing the way that you can take those ingredients and with changing the amounts and changing the techniques, you get a pie crust. And then with another one, you change the amount, you change the technique, and you get a cake. It's mind-blowing. And so knowing the amounts and the techniques that you can use makes everything different. And you're like, Nina, where did you go to school for this? Let me tell you, I wish they were teaching this stuff in school. It wouldn't have taken me 10 years to figure it out. But I'm determined for you not to spend 10 years figuring it out the way I had to figure it out. Right? Everybody deserves pizza and cake on their birthday. Nobody should miss out because of allergens. If you're like, okay, so besides brownies, what can we have? Okay, well, I'm working on a sugar cookie recipe right now. I told you about the pies, right? I got a trifle recipe coming your way. Chocolate chip cookie bars, donuts. Like, the possibilities are endless when you break a recipe. Literally, when we meet, bring me that recipe that you're dreaming of adding to your table, and we'll look at it and see if we can break it. Why not? I was talking too much. Have you ever done that before? I know. I get so excited because I want you to eat like normal. I don't want you to stuck with baked goods that taste like shingles or sheetrock. Okay. I told you that we were gonna look at the batter and we're gonna see how different it was. Now it looks like a brownie batter, right? Now it looks like a brownie batter. Okay. Yeah. Now, the crumb, the xanthan gum, is developing because it's holding air in a way that it wasn't before. When we added the xanthan gum, it was like I was struggling to get it out of the whip. And now you can see there's air in it. And so it's lighter, it's fluffier. Well, what does that mean? It means we're gonna have a light and fluffy brownie. Now, I don't mean light and fluffy like a cake. I mean, it's gonna be a nice cake-like brownie. If you like a fudgy or brownie, hey, I got you. I can teach you to break the recipe and make it fudgy. Okay, so what's in here? Leavening agents. And if you're like, Nina, what are leavening agents? Because that's not in my vocabulary. Leavening agents are anything that make a baked good rise. Literally leaven to rise. So we are just incorporating this, and then we're gonna mix it. Let's see how long we're gonna mix it for. I forgot to check that. So after we incorporate, we're just gonna mix for 1 minute after we incorporate. Okay, and if you want the recipe and you haven't put recipe below, put recipe below so I can get you this brownie recipe. Okay. You can see it's not hard. The hard part is the science of breaking the recipes. And I'm gonna do that with you. Okay, just like my VIPs who are able to enjoy churros and tortillas and empanadas and pierogies and quiches without grains or top allergens, right? Because I teach them and I'll teach you too. Okay, so now it's on the lowest speed. We're gonna let it do the thing for 1 minute. Okay. I'm going to grab a little more tea so that I can speak without coughing. Okay, thank you for being patient with me. So the batter is going to change again. Before it was trapping some air. Now it's going to be big and fluffy like it was before, or big and stuck. Like it was before we added the xanthan gum, because the rising is happening now. We use a couple different ingredients to make that happen. My oven is preheated to 350, and we are going to bake it for about 25 minutes or so. And I will definitely show you the results. Right, I'm gonna share brownies with my friends today. I'm so excited. I get to go crafting with my friends. Great Thanksgiving weekend. Just a few more seconds and then I can show you. All right, so my question is, who in your life would enjoy some grain-free, lectin-free, allergy-friendly brownies? Okay. All right, we've done our job. Now, I think I need to bring it back on camera so you can see how much the batter has increased in volume. Look at this. Look at how fluffy that is. It was fluffy before, right? It was flat, it was sticky, it was hanging onto the whip before we added the xanthan gum. Then we added the xanthan gum, we developed it, and whoa, it increased in volume. And now, because of the leavening agents, it's increasing in volume even more. You're like, what? This is voodoo. No, it's not voodoo, it's food science. And just like our grandmothers understood so many things about how food works, but they didn't understand everything. And I don't want you to panic. I don't want you to feel like you have to know everything to make it work. You don't. I don't. What I do know is how to track the results so I can replicate them and get more brownies. And I'll be honest with you, not every recipe turns out great for me. That's why I do the testing, to save you the trouble that I went through over the last 13 years. Because let me tell you, I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have to. If there was somebody who was, had the opportunity for me to just get the recipes without grains, dairy, top allergens, and lectins, I would have signed up and I would have been done. But that didn't exist. And I know how hard it was for me to do it. And that's why I do this now. It's why I give up my Saturdays, so that you and your family can make it a little easier. All right, friends, we got the brownie batter. I gotta test it one more time. Oh man, that's good. Okay. Woo. Now, you're like, Nina, I don't want to spend 10 years doing this. I don't want you to spend 10 years doing it either. I don't think it should take you a year. I've condensed everything that I learned in the first 10 years of my grain-free journey into a program called Fast Track. 10 years down to 1 year with full support so that you can eat like normal again. Basically, I'm gonna teach you everything that I've learned. Check this out, isn't that gorgeous? Right, so use my link. We can meet and chat and see if that is right for you. VIPs, we have 2 VIP lounge meetups coming up in December. The first Saturday and the third Wednesday. So, just like you normally would with any baked good, right? With any brownie batter, it's gotta go in the pan. Now, brownie batter would normally be a little bit liquid. We're not gonna get that. This is almost like a dough. But it doesn't matter if it's like a dough now, as long as it tastes like brownies in the end. Exactly, people. That's what matters. Okay. So I'm smoothing it out. The thing that I have learned about grain-free baking is your ingredients will stay where you put them. With a traditional recipe, the batter flows. No. Not with grain-free baking. No. So it's really important that we fill up any holes. Otherwise, we will have brownies with holes. And I don't want holes in my brownies. I want the air pockets inside the brownies. I don't want holes in my brownies. I want my brownies to look and taste like they came from a bakery. Because if we're doing all this, don't we deserve the very best? Yeah, we do. Don't we deserve to feel like we're not missing out? I don't know about you, but I doom scrolled long enough and I tried. I swear I tried every recipe out there and I tried substituting, and you know what I made? I made bricks and I made shingles and I made sheetrock. And that's when I threw everything up in the air and I was like, you know what? I'm not following other people's recipes anymore because each one turns out worse than the last. And I started making my own and I started learning about how these ingredients work and how I could make them work together, right? So if you take away one thing from today's call, is that it is possible for you to eat safely while avoiding grains and allergens. I will see you in our next Slice of the Grain-Free Lifestyle episode. Remember to put recipe below so I can reach out to you and use my link so we can meet for a no pressure consult. Have a wonderful Saturday. I believe you can do this. Why? Because the possibilities are endless when you break a recipe.